I can also use a repeat until. Okay, in other words, I will keep doing whatever is specified inside here until this condition becomes true. Okay? And that's what I would use because I wanted to stop when the sprite hits the edge. So the way you specify or attach a new block to the existing block is you just go to here, you drag it just like you drag a file to copy or move a file, and it snaps together automatically. Okay? And after I get out of the loop, which the loop is, this part here will move the sprite forward. Okay, it will move it forward, let's say 10 steps at a time, and I will time it so that it looks like it is walking. Okay, so let's go ahead and specify the walking part, which is based on motion. I will drag move 10 steps. Okay, trigger to help. I move this. Now you can see that when you drop it, you can drop it after the loop, you can drop it between two blocks, or you can put it inside the block, which is what I want. After you drop it inside the block, you can see the block is automatically getting a little bit bigger. Okay, and let's see here. What do I want to do? I want to move 10 steps, and I might want to change the costume. Well, maybe not, because if I change the costume like this without a variable, it really does not have the desirable effect. So I just have it to move 10 steps forward. And I wanted to stop at some point. If I wanted to stop when it hits one of the edges, I have to go to the Sensing tab and go to the touching, hexagon. Yep.
I believe there was another thing for that in motion as well.
Okay, let's take a look. If on edge bounce, but I don't want it to bounce yet. I want it to say meow and then have a speech bubble to say ouch. I don't quite know what bounce does. If you hover over it, I think if you just click on it long enough, it will pop up the help option, and this is what bounce would do. If on edge bounce checks to see if the sprite has touched the edge, and if so, it turns away from the edge and is ready for the next move. In other words, when it bounces, it turns around automatically. Let's say we don't need to do that just yet. Okay. I just wanted to move forward 10 steps, and I wanted to stop as soon as it touches the edge. Now this is where it is easier to program in this particular interface. I'm not sure whether you guys can see it because it's a little bit harder to see on the screen. Do you see the little empty space or the placeholder after repeat until? What shape is that? What is the shape of that little slot on the left? It is a hexagon. Okay. Now, when you look at the other constructs, it's a little bit hard to see because of the contrast. Distance to something is rounded. Okay. But when you look at touching, it is pointy. It is a hexagon. The shape tells you where it can fit. Okay, is that okay so far? Okay, now that's a very important thing because I can put touching into this place, okay? But I cannot use the other one. Like mouse X does not fit here. Okay? Now this makes programming a whole lot easier because there's a visual clue to tell you I'm expecting something of this shape. Okay? And you look at the shape of these potential objects here. If it does not match the shape of a hexagon, it won't fit. If you drag one of these things that has a round shape and put it there, it won't drop. Okay? It will just not drop because it does not fit the shape. So in this case, the touching one definitely works. Okay? And it drops here. Once it drops, then I can select, repeat until touching edge. But until that condition is true, move 10 steps forward. Now, when I run this program, it's not going to be very interesting. That's all it's going to do. So you can introduce a timer, introduce a time delay so that it looks a little bit more like the walking action. Okay, so, or at least it goes a little bit slower. And I cannot remember where that goes to delay it. Definitely not sound, maybe control. Nope, not there.
Is it in sensing?
Sensing?
Yeah.
Where is it? I wanted to delay like 20 milliseconds or something like that.
There's a wait until in the control.
On the control? Okay. Yeah, wait 1 second. There we go. And you don't have to specify 1 second because that's a long time. You can specify, say, 0.2 seconds. It will take a decimal number as well. So when I run this program, now it looks a little bit better. If I change the costume alternately, it will look even better. And now it stops because it has, touched the edge. So what I can do next, just to finish the program that I said I would do, is it can play the meow sound, and it can also say ouch. Yeah. For 2 seconds. And just to be a good programmer, I will also terminate the program and say stop script at that point. So now I can move my thing to anywhere, and I can even tilt it. I can go to motion, and I can even change the direction a little bit. And let's see, we can change it to... I can make it tilt. Oh, I guess that's too much. Point toward mouse pointer.
Can't you just click Control?
Now, of course,
Can't you just Control Z it?
Control Z.
Undo.
Oh, I don't think there's undo. Well, it can also walk upside down. Okay, so I'm just going to run the program.
It's going to fall in.
It's actually off by 9 degrees. You can see it's actually tilted a little bit. And when it hits the edge, it will stop. That's all it does, okay? Not a whole lot. But if you look at the code of the program, it's not a whole lot either. Okay, so we'll continue on this next time. I recommend that you guys install Scratch on your system too, just so that you can play with it. Whatever I do in the class, you guys can try to replicate when you go home.